Underground, overground, wombling free. The wombles of Wimbledon.
Have you seen in the papers that the Wombles are making a comeback? They're going to star in a social media video to encourage schools and local communities to be greener and clean up their neighbourhoods. But if you want to see the wombling spirit already in action, you should look no further than Stafford. Its Litter Heroes group has collected more than 3 tonnes, yes, 3 tonnes of litter from the streets in a year, including an amazing find.
Our hands that do dishes can feel soft as your face with mild green, very liquid.
So, they found a load of plastic washing up bottles, and I hear you cry, well, that's nothing surprising really, John, but Rob Hawkins is the man who made the discovery and is here to tell us a little bit more about it. Hi, Rob.
Hi, John.
What was so special about this washing up liquid bottle?
Right, well, it was a cache, actually, of bottles, actually, that we found one Sunday morning near one of the housing developments that are going up in Stafford. And I've been writing a few little stories for the local press, and for a while now I'd been wanting to write one about plastic waste, and it just seemed to be the obvious tag to attach the fact that these bottles had been underground for about 50 years. And they were still in pretty good condition, really.
Right.
A little bit squashed and scuffed, but pretty good.
When you say underground, so exactly what kind of state were they in, and what were they kept in? And did you have to dig, or could you see the top of it? What was the sitch?
Yeah, well, I think what had happened was they'd been unearthed, actually, as part of the earth moving. So they'd been underground, but they were at the side of a path. And they were a bit squashed, they were a bit flattened and a bit scuffed. But, I mean, considering they'd been underground for sort of half a century, they were pretty much in new condition. In fact, you could even smell the washing up liquid still inside.
Half a century?
Yeah, I mean, they were it's pre-decimalisation.
No way.
They've got the old pricings on them. And it sort of sparked a bit of interest locally. And my friend could remember for one particular brand, he could remember the adverts being on the television. So they had a real sort of retro feel to them.
From the 1960s, washing up bottles, and you could still make out the labels.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, the outside they were perfect, actually. They were pretty flattened, but generally pretty good, really.
What kind of reaction have you had when you've showed people these bottles?
Well, all sorts of nostalgic sort of remembrances, really, from when people obviously used to do all their washing up by hand, you know. In fact, one of them was squeezy, and somebody said that they could remember the adverts on the television from the time. Could
you sing that for us, Rob?
I'm afraid not. No. The only one that I can remember, which is obviously still around, is Fairy Liquid, obviously, which is still around. But the ones that we found have got the old pounds, shillings and pence offers on them still.
So what are you going to do with them?
Right, well, the first thing we wanted to do with them was actually to sort of get them a little bit looking more presentable, you know, because I wanted to take a few photographs of them for the local papers. So a friend of mine suggested that we fill them, because they were pretty flattened mostly, so we filled them with boiling water, and they reformed their original shape. And I cleaned them up a little bit, and they look pretty good. And I've got a friend of mine, and she said, I'll hold the bottles for you, and we'll take a few photographs. So we did that, and I wrote a bit of a story and sent it to the local press. And for a while now, I'd been wanting to write something on the wider plastic issue, really. So it just seemed to be an obvious way into that. So it was the sort of the nostalgic angle, and also the huge issue of plastic in the oceans and in the environment.
They could want these for sort of TV props or something, or film maybe.
Well, that's it. You see, once I'd taken the photographs, I was thinking, well, what am I going to do with them now? And I thought that people were actually even buying and selling them on eBay. But then suddenly, from the Facebook page, I had a call from a lady, and her father actually runs a prop hire business, and she said, we might be able to rehome them. So that's where they're going to go. They're going to end up on television sets and on film sets as a sort of period piece, actually, and sort of in kitchens of the time.
Rehome them.
Yeah.
Like they're a rescue animal. I like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, they're your babies, these bottles. Rob, it's a great find, and thanks for sharing that with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Keep wombling.
Pleasure.
Take care.
Cheers, John. Thank you.
Cheers, Rob. Bye.
Bye.
That's Rob Hawkins. He's found a load of old washing up bottles in Stafford.